Well, hello there, I'm Detroit. I decided that my drawings were not randomized enough. Here, I'm drawing a grid on my A4 Bristol paper, and you'll see why just after the intro. I like to work off of interesting shapes. That was the whole point of my video 2 weeks ago. So, in order to use a random shape, I decided to call my snaky friend, Python. Since I use Python for work literally every day, I wanted to flex a bit by using the simplest algorithm ever in my drawing process. The grid I drew is 28 by 19. That gives us 532 points. What this script does is giving me a random point out of these that I have to connect with the previous one. I simply told the program to not use a point previously used and to give me the row and column for each one. Now I simply have to trace all the points, and you can actually follow the instructions on screen. As you can see, I truly did follow the prompt, so no cheating at all. I did, however, keep the liberty in terms of how I could connect the dots, i.e. I don't have to use a straight line. After everything is connected, I'll then fill it all with ink in abstract patterns. Just in case I wanted to continue for much longer, I wrote the script for a lot of points. I ended up using only 50 something of them, because the grid was already quite full and I started to run into trouble connecting some points with all the lines already present. At the end, I connected the last point to the first, and there you have it, a complete nonsense. I have to say, in my head the result was going to be more interesting. But when life gives you random points, you have to make lemonade, right? For the third traditional drawing video in a row, I'm using my Cross fountain pen, the one I unboxed a month ago. Inside it, there's the Cross brand ink that came with the pen. I never used this pen in combination with Bristol paper on video yet, but let me tell you, the soft fountain pen works even better on harder and smooth paper. Bristol paper feels incredibly good with it. Bristol paper is my favorite, and this pen is also my favorite, so I'm just happy they work together. The pattern I used has no name really. It's a loose movement based drawing. There's a bunch of lines, not really in order but very dense. Some lines are ordered, like a bunch of horizontal ones next to each other, just to add some sense of order maybe. Sometimes there are also droplets, sometimes circular lines. At times, I simply filled white portions with ink. It felt just right to do. In fact, it felt so right, I didn't realize I spent 4.5 hours in total on this drawing. It's kinda like writing code. When I write code, I don't feel time flying by. Let's talk Python for a while, okay? I feel like being nerdy right now before getting back to the drawing. When I said that I use Python every day at work, I'm not talking about basic scripts like this one obviously. I'm talking data treatment and user interfaces for lab measurements. In fact, I automated the data treatment process for my whole lab with a piece of software in which you can open the data and fit it and calculate stuff and present it with just one click. Nowadays, I'm working on an interface with which to connect the dozen of instruments used for the measurement and assemble everything under one script. It's a lot of work, and I'm by no means an expert, but it's very satisfying when it works properly. Troubleshooting, iterating, adding new features and options, tweaking the visual interface, the whole thing is nice. I don't know why, but I like coding. Only in Python though. I remember not liking C very much when I was learning it. Same for MATLAB, but even worse. And that's all the coding languages I know, so actually that's why I stick with Python. I guess maybe LaTeX counts as well? I'm not sure, there's code, but it's more of a text editor. Anyway, again, I'm not an expert at coding at all. As long as I can do what I'm asked to do and what I want to do, then it's all good. And it makes for an original drawing prompt. I don't know. If you have any idea of how I can integrate code into my art, please tell me in the comments. I have no idea how to do that though. Wait, that's wrong. I do have an idea. But should I tell you? I don't know. So here's my idea. I can easily program a fractal figure, following the Mandelbrot ensemble and such. So I kinda want to code something very trippy and then use it as a base, as a background on which I would draw. I want to see a city full of buildings with orientations following the contours of a fractal. That's just an idea. I don't know if it's feasible or not, or if it's worth spending time exploring it at all. I'll keep you updated, or rather, you'll see if I upload a video like that one day. There's only one way to find out. Subscribe using the big red button under the thumbs up that you've already clicked. Back to the drawing. Even though the drawing is rather uniform, I really like it. It's one of these drawings I sometimes do where you see the interesting stuff when you get closer to it. Actually, even from afar you can still see interesting stuff. See the unicorn head on the left? That's only the random shape the points earlier gave me. Oh, and right above the unicorn, a bit bigger, there's an entire face with a mustache. It looks like a silhouette of Don Quixote. The last shape on the very right of the drawing looks like a whale. Yeah, really, look at it. It's the one shape I did last because it was so big. And also because it was on the right of the drawing. Especially with ink, it's so easy to smudge the drawing if you put your hand on an already drawn part. The keen eyes that you have might have spotted halfway through the drawing that something happened to my drawing hand. This is exactly what I was talking about. I started to see tiny black specks where I smudged the ink a little bit, so I resorted to my fancy drawing glove. This unique drawing glove is pink with stripes. Yes. That's only because it's my ex-girlfriend's sock that I cut open and holds together with safety pins that are not really comfortable. Maybe one day I'll make a tutorial on how to make a slightly better drawing glove, using a sock though. And now here we are, the full drawing based on totally random points. I would really appreciate it if you gave this video a thumbs up, maybe even a comment, and more importantly give me a big old subscribe. It's the best way to let me know that you enjoy my content. Also, there's more stuff from me on Instagram if you want. And as always, I'll see you next Sunday. Bye!